This is the Pastor Doom live stream. We gotta go in for a second. We gotta talk about this for a second. Just for a second, we gotta talk about it. I wanna rewatch this Elon Musk, Donald Trump press conference in the Oval Office. I would just like to watch it with y'all and let y'all tell me if Elon Musk ain't the president. Now I thought those would be kicking. I thought Elon was kicked out of the White House, kicked down the street, had to live in Lincoln House. I thought he would never go near the White House. I mean, the Oval Office. Steve Bannon, everybody said, you know what, Elon is not going near the Oval Office. Not going near the Oval Office. He might go in the White House, but he's not going near the Oval Office. Elon Musk. We gotta go over it, dog. We have to go over this. And let's go over it. Listen back. See what we actually hear. This is crazy. Today he was, exactly. The day he was talking in the White House. We about to go right to it. We ain't even gonna waste no time, man. We ain't even gonna waste no time with it. This is crazy. Not only did Elon Musk kick in the doors of the Oval Office, he brought his kid with him. He brought his kid with him into the Oval Office. Now, usually when grown men handle grown man business, they like to leave the kids at home. Elon brought his kid with him. Now, that's some gangster shit, dog. That was wild. That's wild ghetto, right? Now, if me or you would have took our child to work with us, they say you ghetto, you hood, you what would they say? You can't afford your child, you can't afford child care. Nah, Elon just take his kid with him to the Oval Office, and you know what? That really ain't even a bad thing. I don't even know if this is really a bad thing though, right? Because I heard Dame Dash. I heard Dame Dash one day say, you know, I would take my sons just around with me getting money and doing things with me. It is hella unprofessional. What up, Cynical One? What it do, Cynical One? Right? Is it unprofessional or is it you training your kid up for the ropes? Because I remember Dame saying that he would take his kids with him to get money. But then I'm like, do you really want your kids in some of these situations? Do you really want your kid in some of these environments that you have to get money at, right? Or do you really want your kid with you at your in particular job? You know, that's kind of iffy, right? That's kind of iffy. That's iffy, but this shit do look a little ghetto. And then Elon put a gold chain on his son. That's next level right there.
Thanks for meeting you here. Come here often?
X, are you okay? This is X, and he's a great guy, high IQ.
So already I got to already stop this, right? High IQ. How do we know this little boy got a high IQ? Is he 5? How old is this kid? And we automatically assume this kid has a high IQ. So that's some DEI shit right there. We just assume this kid is smart because he's, I guess Elon's, I don't know, man. That's crazy. But let's let it ride.
High IQ individual.
And he's got this cool chain he's got.
So thank you very much. We had a busy day today. The king just left, and we...
So you said that was ghetto, super ghetto, Elon. He said I was super ghetto. And then Elon said, look at this cool chain my son got. Right? Yo. Now what if Kanye would have went in there with his son with a chain on, they would have said that's ghetto. But Elon Musk in there with the black MAGA. The black MAGA, baby.
We've had a great discussion, terrific discussion concerning Gaza and everything else. We had discussions also about Saturday at 12 o'clock. It's going to be a big moment. We'll see what happens. I don't expect much happening with these people, but we'll see what happens. And we're going to be signing a very important deal today. It's Doge, and I'm going to ask Elon to tell you a little bit about it and some of the things that we found, which are shocking.
Yo, he said the kid does have a big head. Oh shit, that's crazy. So check this right. So I'm glad you said this right. So they brought up the idea of having a big head doesn't actually mean you're smart. Believe it or not, right? Actually, having because this argument came up about brain size and the size of the brain, right? Right. There've been plenty of studies that were done on brain size and head size, right? And come to find out, it's not even how big your brain is. The more studies they do on is how fast your brain synapse, like the synapses in your brain, how quick they react, and how quick they get from one end to the other end. And I think these big brain, these super big headed people with these big brains, they forget a lot of stuff. They're hydrocephalus waterhead babies. They forget a lot of stuff. They have memory loss, short and long term. Big head people. They can't make a good decision. It takes their brain too long to formulate a thought. So therefore, I'm telling you, man, it's they almost sound autistic with these big head, big brain people.
Billions and billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think it's very important. And that's one of the reasons I got elected. I say we're going to do that. Nobody had any idea it was that bad, that sick, and that corrupt. And it seems hard to believe that judges want to try and stop us from looking for corruption, especially when we found hundreds of millions of dollars worth, much more than that, in just a short period of time. And we want to weed out the corruption. And it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges, because that's very serious. I think it's a very serious violation. I'll ask Elon Musk to say a few words, and we'll take some questions. Elon, go ahead.
Sure. So at a high level, if you say what is the goal of Doge, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, are we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, okay, we would have to, if you
See, it's more travel time from ear to ear. Hell yeah, it is. Boy, these big head people, they brain so big. I'm trying to tell you, they thoughts have to travel the Green Mile. You know what I'm saying? They move slow too. Their hands and feet move slow and shit. They can't move very quickly. But anyway, that's why you don't bring your kid to work. This is why you don't bring your kid to work. This is why it's ghetto to bring your kid to work. Your kid gonna start acting up at the job. We know how these kids are. They're not good employees. They act up.
It's all right. So, tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, or if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop.
That sounds good, right? We elected the president, we elected these elected officials can actually do their job and get these bureaucracies, these agencies out of the way. That sounds good until you put it in application, because then who's going to check the president? Who's going to check the elected officials that you voted for if those bureaucracies or those agencies go away? So I don't know. It sounds like we cutting costs, but it sounds like you're getting people out the way so that you can technically do what you want to do, which is that technically creates like almost a kingdom. And we don't want to turn America into South Africa. And we have a South African in the Oval Office. I mean, I think he's an American citizen now. He may be an American citizen, or he might even have dual citizenship. I don't know. I don't know his immigration status. However, I do know that we don't. How is we got a South African in the Oval Office? Not JD Vance. Where is JD FWA Vance at? Why come JD Vance is not standing in the Oval Office with Trump? And then now we're going to try to say that Elon Musk is not the by proxy president. He doing all the talking. Trump, man, come on, Trump. Come on, man. This is not what we asked for or voted for.
Fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who
an unelected person is standing over an elected person talking about unelected people. He said, what up, Angry Snowman? Even though I talk trash to the white people, it's still, FWA, man. We don't want to technically see FWA go away, because JD Vance is in charge of overseeing the Senate. No, JD Vance, bitch ass, is the vice president. He is the JD Vance. I don't care what his overseeing the Senate bullshit is. You trying to make some excuses for JD Vance. JD Vance, trash ass, needs to be standing where Elon is standing. JD Vance is an elected official. Elon Musk is not an elected official. He does not need to be in the Oval Office. That's what the vice president does. I don't give a damn. We know he can do his job and still be where Elon Musk is at. And if Elon Musk is going to talk about the economics of America as an unelected official, he shouldn't be doing it from the Oval Office. All I'm saying is, you have to ask yourself, first of all, why does Trump need someone in the Oval Office with him? He is the president. Trump, you the president. You don't really need Elon in the Oval Office with you. I mean, you are the president. You don't technically need a Robin. You Batman. You don't need a Robin. You know what I'm saying? What is going on right now?
are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative.
You are trying to make all kinds of excuses for your boy Trump looking crazy out here right now. We know that the president has had unelected people working for him. That's no mystery. But they weren't in the Oval Office giving press conferences either. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Nah, these are excuses, man. You got to come up here. I want you to give an argument to your excuses that you making. This is insane. You out here. See, this is why y'all gonna lose FWA. Because y'all don't know when to turn away from y'all ways. Y'all don't know when to say I was wrong, right? Hey, at one point I was heavy on the Trump train. I was like, man, this shit gonna go hard. But then now that the Trump train has been put in place, it looks like it's the Elon Musk spaceship. This Elon Musk ride right here. He taking over the country, over the world. The greatest country in the world, Elon Musk is taking over as an immigrant and by proxy president. Why are we getting mad about someone finding fraud in the government? It's about who's finding the fraud, and it's about what he plans to do with the fraud. All this money that they find, you think they're gonna just package it up and give to you? Now the Mexicans out of line. The Mexicans is out of line how they did America. The Mexicans are way out of line.
And this is not something that people want, and it's not. It does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking because we've got to.
Get the fuck. Look, all you had to do was watch Fahrenheit 9/11. What's that? Who was that dude that made the movie about Columbine? Michael Moore. You watch the Michael Moore movie, they would tell you that. This is not profound knowledge. We have been looking at the debt. We have been looking at that. This is not profound knowledge, man. And now that he's threatening America's sovereignty with the debt. He is threatening our sovereignty with debt. And everybody's just looking over this shit. We got FWA, Angry Snowman, the FWA, white American, that's sitting here like, oh, this is good. This is a good thing. They're finding fraud. And he ain't gonna get none of that money. The fraud money they finding ain't gonna buy you a new pickup truck, homeboy. It ain't gonna buy you a new acre of land for you to homestead on. It ain't gonna buy you. It ain't gonna do it for you. That money ain't coming to you. Department of Government Energy money, the Department of Government Efficiency money is not coming back to you or me. They about to take that money, dog. They about to take all that money.
We spend a lot of money on defense. But and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
Iron Beam is the industry-leading broker catering to traders worldwide. With the free Iron Beam platform.
And I got the cheap YouTube. I got the free YouTube, not cheap YouTube, the free YouTube. Or you want people to see what's really going on. The people ain't getting robbed. Man, look, yo. Angry Snowman, you are not getting robbed. And that money that you think they robbed from you, they're not going to give it back. They're not going to get it back. They're not going to get it back. No, you are waste of money. You are waste of money on getting YouTube Premium. You waste of money getting YouTube Premium. That's why y'all losing money. That's your Department of Government Efficiency, learning where to put your money at. I get on YouTube and talk shit. I don't get on YouTube to give YouTube money. nor do I ask for people to give me money on YouTube. Right? Y'all got to learn how to put your money where it need to be and have hobbies where hobbies are. Right? Exactly. Get at it. Talk your shit in the chat.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
Right.
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing.
So you gotta teach these kids how to cover their mouth when they cough, dog. Gotta teach them that. You gotta teach them.
In which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So we're looking at if you look at say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy.
Hassan, what up?
When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So,
like right now, Elon Musk is frauding. Yeah, his son already in training. His son can be. I think his son can be president. You can't be. Elon Musk can't be, but he by proxy is. I think his son will be eligible to be a president of the United States one day. I think he will be. Hold on, they spent 6.9 on smart toilet anal print records. Man, look. Y'all out here lying y'all asses off. They ain't spend that money. Y'all were lying about the condoms. Y'all was lying about the condoms. Y'all said they spent $50 million in condoms. They did do the $50 million condoms, but it went to a place that had a high age rate, and America was trying to get them on their side as an ally, so they gave them some condoms. But y'all lied about that.
So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything just... They approve all the payments at Treasury, because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house no matter what condition it's in. If you need to...
But now we're...
And they got a lot of commercials in here, and like I said, I got the free YouTube. Y'all gonna have to rock with it.
We're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, like, it's just...
How does he know what matters to the people? And check this, right? How is that America's problem, right? Well, first of all, we have those. It's a world problem. If you have an area, if you have an area, if you have a very dense area, if you have a very dense population of people with HIV, they can progress into AIDS, and they can travel. That can become an American problem real quick. These people can come to America to work, come to America to visit, and they can you never know. This becomes a world issue quickly. So therefore, yeah, you gotta watch the people with HIV and AIDS just traveling around, acting willy nilly, doing whatever they want to. You gotta promote safe sex in that community. You got to get ahead of that, especially if you want to be a world power and a world leader. One thing China is going around doing is giving everybody antibiotics right now. It's because they know that they can pretty much get favor with a nation through antibiotics. It's a simple way. I want to see you healthy. It's a simple way of creating some camaraderie. You don't even have to know the language. You don't have to know the culture. It's a simple way of just saying, I want to be your friend. Let me give you something healthy. It's just the way to do it, man. It's easy. It's political shit, man. That's what they do.
Common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone that's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. That's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously,
we know that family members are stealing Social Security money. But you know what? We don't get that shit anyway. We might as well steal it while it's good. Social Security ain't gonna be around for us. Okay? If you're a millennial or a Z, and definitely not Alpha, there ain't gonna be no Social Security for us. And you think fixing the Social Security problem, finding all the fraud in Social Security, is gonna maintain and keep that program so that it may be there for us one day? I don't believe it. Still the Social Security money. If your parents pass and you still getting a Social Security check, keep that shit. Keep it.
we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this. Obviously, there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, let's, if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And what do you mean a mine? Yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire.
So what he's saying is make it all digital. No. Y'all ain't trying to give us our reparations any damn way. Y'all Y'all is not trying to pay no reparations anyway. I don't care how many millions. I don't care if they find trillion a dollar. I don't find if they find $1 trillion in fraud. Y'all are not about to pay no reparations with that $1 trillion. Y'all get up out of here with that lie. Angry Snowman trying to dangle the carrot. Support Elon taking over the United States because you might get reparations. You get the hell out of here with that. Anyway, I don't know if you want to make it digital. I don't know if you want to take people retiring and make everything digital. He keeps saying, what if the elevator or what if the whatever, what if that all breaks down? What if the damn lights go out? What if you can't? I don't want to put everyone's information digitally. You talk about fraud then, right? You can't break into that that little bunker that they got. And you probably can break into there and steal some information, but that's less likely than someone stealing your digital footprint and stealing your damn digital information. That I'm pretty sure that can be hacked into. I don't think we need to put people's livelihoods, retirements, make them completely digital. I do think paperwork is still necessary. I do think some things should still be put on paper. And we trying to have a paperless society. We trying to run our nation. Our Angry Snowman said this is not China. Ninja. Or you know what? This ain't America ain't a corporation either, cracker. Shit. Your crack ass. You say this ain't China, Ninja. Well, America ain't just, or America is not actually a corporation, cracker. You got to do better with your thought process. A nation is a home. It's a place where people live. It's a place where families and cultures and food and travel and a nation is more than just business. A nation is a place where people call home, and home is more than just a corporation. Cracker.
Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes to, boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way. So anyway, so I think that's an example. At a high level, if you say, like, how do we increase prosperity? Is we get people to shift from roles that are
not Elon Musk prosperity preaching. No, Elon, you cannot be a prosperity preacher. No, not Elon being a prosperity preacher. Joel Osteen, Elon Musk rat.
low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. Everyone's very quiet, by the way. People normally is quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing.
Boy, that pill getting to him. Boy, he moving like Kodak Black right now. Boy, that pill was getting to him. That Adderall started kicking in. Boy, he said, whoa. Boy, got hot up in there. And first of all, this is all unprofessional, right? He brought his kid to the Oval Office. He up in that. Everybody else in there has a suit and tie with a formal button-up shirt with a tie on. Elon in there with a damn t-shirt and a hat on. In American culture, you take your hat off indoors. That's American culture. It's a sign. It's respectful. Like, I know every now and then we get a little bit disrespectful, and we wear hats indoors. But American culture is for you to take your hat off indoors. That is American culture. Oh, you know what? Kanye West. No, Kanye West was in the Oval Office and he did. Kanye West didn't do a whole full speech though. Kanye West didn't get. Nah, no, Kanye West didn't get a full press conference. And I'm glad you brought up Kanye West too, because Kanye West right in the middle of this shit as well. He is. He said, hell nah, Elon is dressed like Denzel Washington every time you get. That's what I'm saying. This thing, like, come on, dog. Like, Elon Musk don't own a tie. You a billionaire. I'm a broke ass ninja because I won't pay for YouTube. But Elon ain't no broke ass cracker because he won't, because his rich ass won't buy a damn tie. How this South African cracker not gonna have a damn tie on? This shit is angry snowman. You need to teach your foreign cracker brother some American values and rules. FWA did a horrible job assimilating Elon Musk. There is no way that he should be in the Oval Office with that t-shirt on. Now when Kanye West went to the Oval Office, he was wilding. He was dressed crazy too. I get it. But Kanye West won't go in there on government business. That nigga was there just talking shit. Shooting shit. Elon is there on government business and he refuses to wear at least a tie. Got that ugly ass gray t-shirt on. With that black MAGA hat that he done bent up and shit. He probably was sitting on that before he put it on and frauded the people.
Doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public.
Hey, what's up, Four Corners? Four Corners, when I call Angry Snowman a cracker, I'm not necessarily talking to you. You a white guy that you a smart, good, really white. You a good white guy, right? But Angry Snowman is a cracker. Okay, see, Four Corners. I think you're an actual cool white man, right? You a cool white guy. But Snowman is a cracker. Okay, like I'm just sorry, they are some crackers out here. You got black people and you got niggas. You got white people and you got crackers. Right? And Angry Snowman's a cracker. I mean, it just is what it is. Well, Four Corners, I get it. You're not white, but you get what I'm saying. You very light-skinned. It just is what it is.
The public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
A question we get all the time is, how do you do culinary school online? And the way we do it is by focusing on.
What up? Hell yeah, that nigga autistic. He doing the autism is intelligence, right? But he doing the Illuminati hand gesture, right? He keep his hands in the Illuminati hands. And y'all, we are putting our tax money, everything. Man, I don't like paying taxes. I actually support Trump getting rid of the income tax. I support that. But we are fixing Social Security, fixing fraud in the hands of an autistic person. I don't even care if he has Asperger's, high functioning autism. He's still autistic. Out there with the Illuminati hands. What up, Ban Garcia? Yeah, Mr. Bump, man, come on, dawg. Looking like the nigga from Austin Powers. What's that Austin Powers movie? With the bald head dude,
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, you know, and the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not, you know, what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president, I know, has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, you know, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately, you know?
Including you yourself.
Yes, but we're.
If you were scared, Trump faced taking me out. He like, what the fuck? Yo, so pretty much that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of all the bureaucratic agencies so that it's only elected officials. And what this reporter is asking is, Elon, who's going to double check you, nigga? Elon is like, well, if people see me doing something bad, they'll say something. No, they won't. No, they will not. We see people commit crimes every day, and we don't say shit. We mind our own business and go our own way. So the average person ain't gonna say a damn thing. And then even if they do say a damn thing, what does it matter if there's nobody to say a damn thing to? Who does? If Elon starts frauding America, who you gonna run and tell? Elon? Elected officials? They got rid of you can't run to an agency or bureaucracy, as they call it. There's no one to run to. So even if you know, what you gonna do about it? Say something. To who? The same elected officials that you wanted. And then you're gonna be in then what's gonna happen is they're gonna tell you how you voted for this. And then you're gonna be looking like angry snowman, having to make excuses for silly shit. You're gonna be like angry snowman, having to accept whatever they do because you have no power to do nothing about it, or no agency or no group or no collected individuals that you could do anything about it. You ain't gonna be able to do shit. You stuck. So angry snowman, you cracker ass cracker, you need to think about what you're doing.
Transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area. If we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we.
This is crazy. I'm not racist. I'm not racist, Joe. I'm not racist because there's other white people in the chat. A couple of them, not many people here anyway, but there are a couple of other white people in the chat or that are here, and they are real white people. Okay, they're real white people. Then they these crack ass crackers, they like angry snowman, like they real black people. Then they some nigga ass niggas. And all I'm saying is angry snowman is a crack ass cracker. White nationalist crack ass cracker. From that's what he is. And shout out to Angry Snowman. But anyway, he gonna sit here and say that he don't know if there's gonna be, or we don't think Elon gonna steal no money. I don't give a damn, yo. How do we make sure Elon don't steal no money? It ain't about our thoughts. It's about it's about reality. We need to be able to actually really check and see if Elon is stealing. Elon will steal. Okay. Don't you ever think that you get to making $1 billion in this country and you will not steal. There's a common thing between rich people and poor people. They asses steal. Okay. Rich people steal and poor people steal. Now, middle class people, the reason why they in the middle is because they don't really steal like that. But if you rich, you steal, and if you poor, you steal. I'm a middle class nigga, so I don't really be stealing like that. I have stole before. I stole a Reese's from a store when I was a kid. I stole some candy from a store when I was a kid. But as a grown man, I don't be stealing like that. If I see some money, you can ask my mama, nigga. You can ask my mama. You can ask my mom and my daddy and my son. You can ask my baby mama if I be stealing. Ask my son. Ask my family if I'm a stealer, a thief. But rich people steal, thieving ass niggas, and poor people are some stealers too. And the people that don't steal, I'm gonna tell you the people that don't steal in America, the middle class. The middle class don't really steal like that. They might steal like, some clothes from TJ Maxx. No, they might steal a can of corn at the Walmart self checkout. You know what I'm saying? They might steal a little bit like that, but they ain't real thieves. Okay, they petty. They middle class America does petty theft. It's petty. It's petty. Little petty theft is what middle class America do. If you want to catch some real fraud, some real stealing, go find some rich and poor people. You find some rich people, they stealing. You find some poor people. They look at all these poor people that were running around here stealing all the Cadillac converters out of all the cars. The poor people stole over $1 million. They were stealing millions of dollars worth of Cadillac converters. Middle class America won't doing that. Go look at upper class America. They are fraudulating, stealing all kinds of money. Nah, the middle class don't be. The middle class be throwing money at the strip club. It be them high class niggas that don't be throwing no money. Yeah, it's what Angry Snowman steal. That's what I'm saying. That's why he a cracker, because he steal. Okay, white people, good white people, don't be stealing like that. They might do some little petty crimes here and there. Good middle class American white people don't be stealing like that. Good middle class American black people don't be stealing like that. But these cracker ass crackers be stealing. And these niggas be stealing too. Okay? And upper class cracker ass crackers be stealing. Jerry, like, look, they be stealing, dog. And what up, Asian? What up, Asian? What it do? They be out here stealing, dog. Stealing like a motherfucker.
We watch that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this. Now, one thing also that Elon hasn't really mentioned are the groups of people that are getting some of these payments. They're ridiculous. And we're talking about billions of dollars that we've already found. We found fraud and abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use, but in this case, fraud and abuse. It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to them. And you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. So, but we're talking about
this game, you're not ready.
Tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this.
Trump is mad that a judge he appointed, a judge that Trump appointed, is blocking the stuff they doing. Now why is this judge blocking what they're doing and Trump appointed him? I don't know. He might have fooled Trump. Trump thought he was down. Trump thought he was one of the homeboys. Now this judge is trying to block him. He's like, but I put you in position. So now they want to look at they want to get rid of his ass again. Like we can't. So Trump can't even trust the people he put in charge.
Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt, and it is very corrupt. It's very, very. It's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months, and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the next 20 years. Because nobody ends a contract. You get a lot of that. You have a contract that's a 3-month contract. Now, normally, if you're in a small, in all fairness, it's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months. It's a consultant. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years. And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years. They don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month, and you have various things like that, and even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be a deals made on both sides, where the guy gets the money, he kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickbacks.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts,
Yes.
so he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it. And I hope that the court system is going to allow us to do what we have to do. We got elected to among other things, find all of this fraud, abuse, all of this horrible stuff going on. And we've already found billions of dollars, not like a little bit, billions, many billions of dollars. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find. That will have quite an impact on the budget. And you'll go to a judge where they handpick a judge, and he has certain leanings. I'm not knocking anybody for that, but he has certain leanings, and he wants us to stop looking.
He said it right there. We had a hand-picked judge, and now he bullshitting. Trump mad about that. So you're right. There's a lot of money laundering that goes on. I agree with you. There's a lot of money laundering that is going on in America. Like I definitely agree with that. America built. I think the city of Miami was built off money laundering. I think if you want to keep it real, I think money laundering built Houston. I think money laundering also built Dallas. They want to tell you it was oil money. I don't think it was oil money that built Texas. I think Texas has been laundering money too. DC been laundering money. Every state launders money. Let me tell you another area that launders money. The church launders money. When you pay your tithes, the pastor don't ask you where your tithe money come from. Okay, pastors take money from drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, everyone. They turn and then for real, churches take dirty ass money all the time. And then it gives you certain kickbacks in the church, right? So then you're able to do business in the church. You pay you can use dirty money to pay your way. You can't buy your way into heaven, but you can pay your way up you can't buy your way into heaven, but you can definitely buy your way up in church. You can definitely buy your way up in church. And therefore you will end up getting all the business out the church. You can conduct business out the church, off the people in the church based off your donations. Sinister minister, baby. sinister fucking minister. I tell y'all all about that money laundering through the church and then using that for favor and promotion, marketing to get the people in the church to allow you to do business.
How do you stop looking? I mean, we've already found it. We have a case in New York where a hotel has paid $59 million, $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants, all illegal, I believe.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Yeah.
Mr. Mustard, can I ask you a question? You
Well,
said,
if I may sort of just going for the president's comments, at a high level, you say, well, what are the two ingredients that are really necessary in order to cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to 1 trillion? And it's really two things: competence and caring. And if you add competence and caring, you'll cut the budget deficit in half.
Competence and caring. So you're competent, and then that's when they bring back the compassionate conservative. Now, this was a play that George W. Bush had, the compassionate conservative. The conservatives are the caring party now, right? This is very interesting what you're starting to see. You're starting to see admixture of all politics, left wing, right wing, far left, far right. You're seeing all that shit come together. This is very interesting, the wordplay that they're using.
And I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there. So it's not like I think I can get away with something. I'll be scrutinized nonstop. But with the support of the president, we can cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to.
Scrutiny don't stop crime. Scrutiny does not stop crime. You can they can scrutinize you all you want to, but that does not stop you from being a criminal, Elon Musk. Yeah. It's wild to watch. It's wild to watch this stuff come together. It's wild to see the woke left and the woke right and the it's crazy to see this shit come together. But they're coming together, but they're tearing apart middle America. I can get up here and joke all day and call people crackers and crazy stuff all day, but the reality of it is middle America is being ripped apart. And these far factions, these rich and poor people, whether they're rich with money and poor with class and dignity, they're ripping us apart. And I don't trust Elon. I don't trust him one bit. He put that chain on his son. Man.
One. And then with deregulation, because there's a lot of sort of regulations that don't ultimately serve the public good. We need to free the builders of America to build. And if we do that, that means I think we can get the economic growth to be maybe 3-4%, maybe 5%. And that means if you can get $1 trillion of economic growth and you cut the budget deficit by $1 trillion, between now and next year, there is no inflation. There's no inflation in 26. And if the government is not borrowing as much, it means that interest costs decline. So everyone's the mortgage, their car payment, their credit card bills, anything, their student debt, the monthly payments drop.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey. Hi, I'm Ronnie.
That's a fantastic.
Okay, so you're saying a judge appointed by Barack Obama in 2011 was blocking Trump and Elon from doing what they're doing. Hey man, this judge may be on to something. I don't know if American people actually, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And this honestly sounds too good to be true. Anytime someone sells you something that is just that they're only giving the American people the good outcomes. They're not telling people what could possibly go wrong, and the people are asking what could possibly go wrong with this, and they said, "Don't worry about it. We don't steal. We don't do these things. We're your elected officials, and you asked for this. So even if they do steal and you do catch them stealing, they're going to say that, well, we are your elected officials, and you asked for this. I don't know if I trust that, right? Federal judge blocks Doge from accessing treasuries. Oh, okay. Y'all hit that link. Y'all read because I'm on StreamYard, so I can't actually hit links because I'm on StreamYard. But yeah, we'll go into that. Check your facts, man. No. You said he was appointed by Trump. I did say he was appointed by Trump. I did say that, but Trump, I did put it on Trump. I did put it on Trump. I did that. I did it. But Trump, get your shit. I ain't worried about getting my shit right. I'm running a narrative. Because y'all think that Trump is good. Y'all think that Trump and Elon is going to get this right. See, y'all want me to get it right. And y'all want me to not spread false information. But they're doing it from the Oval Office. So if they can spread false information from the Oval Office, I can spread a little bit of false information from YouTube. Shout out to Pastor $40.
Fantastic scenario for the average American. I mean, imagine they're going down the grocery aisle and the prices from one year to the next are the same, and their mortgage, all their debt payments dropped. How great is that for the average American?
We had
That's
no
what we're
idea. We had no idea we were going to find this much, and it's open. It's not like complicated. It's
not
simple stuff.
complicated.
It's
just
like,
a lot of work. Yeah.
We can't believe it. A lot of work, a lot of smart people involved. Very, very smart people. But you're talking about anywhere maybe $500 billion. It's crazy the kind of numbers you're
really
talking
crazy.
about. You know, normally when you're looking at something, you'll find you're looking for 1 out of 100. Here, you're almost reversing it. You look for one that's good.
Yeah.
And you can look at the title and you say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And the public gets it. You know, the public gets it. You've seen the polls. The public is saying, why are we paying all this money? This for years, this has gone on.
President Trump,
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, go ahead.
Senator Rand Paul today said that Doge cuts will ultimately need a vote in Congress. Do you agree with that? Is that the
I
plan?
really don't know. I know this. We're finding tremendous fraud and tremendous abuse. If I need a vote of Congress to find fraud and abuse, it's fine with me. I think we'll get the vote, although there'll be some people that wouldn't vote. And how could a judge want to hold us back from finding all of this fraud and finding all of this incompetence? Why would that happen? Why would even Congress want to do that? Now, Congress, if we do need a vote, I think we'd get a very easy vote because we have a track record now. We've already found billions of dollars of abuse, incompetence, and corruption. A lot of corruption.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply
Well, I
with that
always
order?
abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is
No, I like that. I like what Trump said. I always abide by the courts, but I appeal it. If you appeal something, you are abiding by the courts, but you don't have to agree. I'm appealing this. I don't like that. I don't like that outcome. Anytime you go to the appellate court, okay, you might work with what they said, but you don't agree. That's why you appealing. You appealing because you don't agree. Sound like how he did that. That was funny, right? That was actually pretty funny. I give him that. Well, I always agree with the courts, but I'm appeal it. Hey, that's some real shit right there. Because that's what I say that all the. And honestly, that was some real nigga shit right there. That was some real nigga shit right there because
he slowed down the momentum, and it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. You know, if a person's crooked and they get caught, other people see that, and all of a sudden it becomes harder later on. So, yeah, the answer is I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal. But appeals take a long time, and I would hope that a judge, if you go into a judge and you show him, here's a corrupt situation. We have a check to be sent, but we found it to be corrupt. Do you want us to send this corrupt check to a person, or do you want us not to give it and give it back to the taxpayer? I would hope a judge would say, don't send it, give it back to the taxpayer.
Yeah, if I can add to that, what we're finding is that a bunch of the fraud is not even going to Americans. So I think we can all agree that if there's going to be fraud, it should at least go to Americans. But a bunch of the fraud rings that are operating in the United States and taking advantage of the federal government, especially in the entitlements programs, are actually foreign fraud rings. They're operating in other countries and actually exporting money to other countries.
Introducing Iron Beam, a bright choice for futures trading. Iron Beam is an industry leader.
We should stop that. and this is big numbers. Talk about $100 to $200 billion a year.
Sure.
Serious money.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas actually, it was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you're saying?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes.
So we will lie to you, and it's okay. We will correct the mistakes eventually. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Elon lacks so much unprofessional with his kid. That's what I'm saying. Why would you bring your kid? Your kid is climbing on your head while a reporter in the Oval Office is asking you about you lying, and you come out and say, "Well, I'm going to lie." You know, no one tells the truth 100% of the time. But when I lie, I will, I guess, make my lies okay. This shit is make America Gemini again. Make America double-minded, multiple personalities, split-minded, crazy again. Like this shit is crazy. Like, what is he right now? I know that we hold multiple roles as people, especially as men, right? We're fathers, we're workers, some of us Christians, some of us Muslims, some of us agnostic, so some of us are musicians, some of us do magic shit. So like people do a lot of different things, right? So you want to get rid of pennies too. So if you get rid of pennies, how they gonna give you all your change? They're gonna round your change off. How you need pennies? We need to keep the pennies. That argument to get rid of pennies that's actually an old argument. Actually, they've been arguing about that for a while to get rid of pennies. But if they get rid of pennies, then they're gonna get rid of nickels. They don't get rid of dimes. They don't get rid of quarters. Then we'll be like we were in COVID, a cashless society. We decided to get rid of all our coins. Now we can get rid of all our dollars. Now we'll just be a digital, cashless, no paper society. Some things gotta be passed. Some things gotta be kept on paper. Some things gotta be done like they were done yesterday. Yeah, that's witchcraft, man. Yeah, we gonna keep the pennies. We are going to keep the pen, and we know the pennies they ain't copper like they used to be. We're going to keep these pennies for we keeping the pennies. We got to keep the pennies, because if we lose the pennies, we'll lose the nickel, we'll lose the dime, we'll lose the quarter, the half dollar, the dollar, the paper dollar. We will lose it all and become a digitalized society. That's how the slippery slope goes. We're going to keep these pennies.
I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about.
And we don't need to be having conversation about condoms around the 3-year-olds. Okay, we don't want transgenders reading to the children, and we don't want parents talking about $50 million worth of condoms in front of the children either. That child gonna go home, like that child gonna get when they leave the Oval Office. Young Elon, young X is gonna be like, Daddy, what's a condom? Something he obviously didn't use on your mama. For real, why? For real, Daddy, what's a condom? I wish my son look, my son 8, so he better not be. I don't want him to ask me about no condoms even at 8. And if he asks me about a condom at 8, I'm gonna say that's something that I didn't use on your mama. That's why I'm looking at you. And why you asking me this? What do you know about a condom?
And that is really an enormous number of condoms when you think about it. But you know, if it went to Mozambique instead of Gaza, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad, but still, you know, why are we doing that?
Mr. Musk, can you talk a little bit about how closely you're working with agency heads as you're directing these cuts? Do they have how much input do agency heads have when you're making these decisions?
Yeah, we work closely with the agency heads.
Donald Trump is going to regret getting rid of the penny. I don't think I don't think it's a waste of money to mint pennies. I really don't think it's a waste. I think we need these pennies. Every penny count. You know how I know pennies are worth something now? You don't see them on the ground no more. You used to walk around and see pennies everywhere because people lost respect for the penny. So they would throw pennies on the ground. They throw pennies in wishing wells. Just throw pennies everywhere. The pennies have dried up because the people need their pennies. The people are scratching for pennies. The average American family does not have $500 worth of savings. The average American family does not have $500 in their savings account for a rainy day, and we want to get rid of pennies. America at this point, we're scratching for pennies. We're like they're talking about we need to lower mortgage, lower car payments, lower this, lower that. Why do we need to lower these things if people have so much money and they pennies count and they not scratching for pennies? Like people are scratching for pennies. Things are expensive. People need every penny, single dollar they can get. I don't think yeah. They ain't no pennies like they used to be. What up, Devin D? How much does it cost to make each penny? I think the penny is more of it's a symbol of the start of making money. So it costs 3.7 cents to make a penny. One penny costs 3 times its worth, right? Almost 4 times its worth. But the penny is a staple of getting money. Once you make 1 penny, then you're gonna make another. And when all those pennies add up to dollars, now you've got something. So everything starts with a penny. The monetary system in America starts with a penny. You go from having no money to having 1 penny to your name. Now you can grow from there. The penny is a staple of American finance that we should keep. We should keep the penny. I think it matters. I think the penny matters. I think the penny means more than it costs to create. It might cost a little bit. It costs more money to create. I agree. It does cost more money to create a penny than a penny's worth. I do agree. I do agree with that. Now that I can agree with, right? It's like buying a stock or a meme coin that you put so much money in it and it was supposed to like really mean something and grow and and give you something, and it just don't do it. But you hold on to it because that might be the first meme coin you bought, or that might be the first loss you took to start taking wins. But it started from somewhere. You got to keep. I want to keep the penny. I want to keep the penny. right? Damn, it doesn't seem viable to keep. See, y'all, here y'all go. See, now you done joined the get rid of the penny squad. I might have to do a live stream about the penny in itself. I might have to go do a whole lot of research about the penny, the cost of production of the penny, what the and this because y'all are just looking at it from a monetary value point. Y'all are looking at the penny from a bottom dollar point. But y'all got to understand the penny is more than finance. The penny is more than money. No. See that's like spending $10 on cake ingredients, and the cake sells for $2. The penny, we're gonna have to really do this. We're gonna have to really do a live. We can even talk about it right now if y'all want to, but I'm ill prepared right now because I need to really hone in on this penny information to be able to argue my point. But something inside of me is telling me that the penny means more than y'all are giving it credit for. I'm telling you, can't get rid of that penny.
Yeah, there are sort of checks in place. So it's not just us just going in and doing things willy nilly. It's in partnership.
He used one of my words, willy nilly.
With the agency heads, and I check frequently with the president to make sure that this is what the president wants to have happen. So we talk almost every day, and I double check things to make sure, is this something, Mr. President, do you want us to do this? Then we'll do it.
USAID has been one of your main targets. Are you concerned at all that some of the cuts or that shutting that agency altogether may lead to diseases or other bigger problems starting in other countries that then come to the United States?
Yeah, so that's an interesting example.
Exactly. That's the whole argument that I was making about sending the $50 million worth of condoms that they sent. $50 million worth of condoms is a lot of damn condoms. Their asses should not be having no illegitimate babies or no STDs, supposedly. Yeah, we know that's still going to happen. However, you're trying to buy your way into the good graces of people, create allies out of people cheaply. If you think about it, giving those people those condoms is a cheap way to create camaraderie, almost some form of you can start putting yourself in position to have transactions or money created there. Now, if they have a high age problem, you want to watch how they travel. You want to watch how they not really watch how they travel because just want them to be safe when they travel or not be having unprotected sex as they travel and go places. Considering, I think that was a good move, man. It was a cheap move, a good move. I don't think when they bring up $50 million on condoms, that makes the average middle American alarm. You're like, damn, that's a lot of fucking money. Considering what they're going to flip out of that 50 million, that's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money considering what they're going to get out of that deal. It is buying their graces, buying their way. One of the quickest ways to transition somebody is through health. That's the reason why United Healthcare and Doctors Without Borders or Healthcare Without Borders. I know a lot about this shit because I still do travel with healthcare. I can travel. I wasn't going to Saudi Arabia, but I have a kid here and I don't have a passport. Not trying to get a passport to even go to Saudi Arabia to work in their healthcare system. That shit is crazy. You make a lot of money, but I'm not going to do it. I make enough running around America. I'm happy what I make running around America, working for America in healthcare. I'm not trying to run to any other country and do it. So therefore, I don't know, man. This shit is nasty work, dog. I don't trust any of this shit, dog. I don't trust any of it. I think it's nasty work. I think we need to really watch Elon, South African ass. I trust white Americans more than I trust fucking South African Elon. We know white Americans. We talk shit to white Americans. We friends with white Americans. We live around white Americans. We've been around. We know white Americans for a long ass time. Mexicans. We known Mexicans for a while. We've known Americans for a while. We don't know South Africa like that. And we don't know this South African like that. I'm just saying, dog. Yeah, healthcare. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, we gotta make healthcare in America first. We gotta make healthcare in America first. We do gotta do it. We definitely gotta do that. That's what RFK is supposed to be doing, but we definitely gotta make healthcare in America first. But yeah, healthcare is one of the easiest ways to cross borders. I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest ways to do it. Drugs is honestly, drugs and healthcare is the easiest way to do it. Between drugs and healthcare, which is healthcare uses a lot of drugs, you can cross all the borders you fucking want. All the borders you want. Let me tell you this. I gotta tell you this quick story real quick, right? I was one time working doing management at this long-term. I realized this shit was not for me. I did long-term healthcare management for a while, like maybe 2 years, and that shit was crazy. And we flew to Tennessee with some drugs on us. We took some patients to Tennessee, and some of them took pain medications and shit. We took some fucking drugs with us on the plane. We had them shits right on the plane with us carrying narcotics because it was medicine, right? It was pharmaceuticals. Crossed all through those borders. Did whatever we wanted to do. But yeah, drugs and healthcare. That's just why Bill Gates used healthcare to go to Africa and run through Africa. He didn't need to speak all those damn African languages. No one spoke all those languages. No one speaks all those African languages. You just go there with some damn health care. Real shit. That's the quickest way to get allies. Health care. And drugs. Not giving you no damn electricity. Not giving you no running water. Not giving you no job. Believe it or not, you can use health care and drugs fashion and religion, but if you use healthcare, drugs, and you couple in religion, send some missionary workers, you can destroy borders. Borders don't even matter. Once you get you got to bring the healthcare in. You got to bring the religion in after the healthcare and drugs. The healthcare is going to make them feel safe and you really like them and you're on their side. The drugs is going to open up their mind and soften them up. Then you come with the religion. And there ain't nothing wrong with the religion. Thank God. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord.
So that's something where we work closely with the State Department and Secretary Rubio. And we have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention.
Left that, you said?
Yes, correct. And we are moving fast, so we will make mistakes, but we'll also fix the mistakes very quickly.
You want to watch a movie? You're going to need a big screen. Fly Emirates, fly better.
Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
So,
do you see it as a worthy cause, USAID?
I think that there's some worthy things, but overall, if you say what is the bang for the buck, I would say it was not very good. And there was far too much of what USAID was doing was influencing elections in ways that I think were dubious and do not stand the light of day.
I can just ask a follow-up to the Pentagon contracts. If you had received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense. Is
Yes,
that
which we
a
definitely need
conflict
to
of
do and
interest?
are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people that's.
This is tricky work. So he's not the one filing the contract, and it may be his company, or that company may not even be filed under his name. We don't know if we're gonna have to really look at Elon's companies and how they listed and all that shit.
SpaceX or someone will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value.
And the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense. Is
Yes,
that
which we
a
definitely need
conflict
to
of
do
interest?
and are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where
that shit is crazy. They are actually saying this shit to you. They're like, you know what, man? There's no conflict of interest because even if I get a contract, it's not me getting a contract. It's just someone at SpaceX, right? Transparent, but anonymous at the same time. Telling the truth right there in your face, but also being anonymous at the same time. That's a very tricky way. That's warlock witchcraft. Very wordplay witchcraft. He could be a rapper. Elon might need to put out an album. You know what I'm saying? He might need to start rapping. Yeah. Trump has said he wants to abolish the Department of Education. Then he's gonna have more people like me on the internet talking crazy shit. More dumbass people on the internet. I don't care. Y'all call me dumb. Y'all call me dumb as hell. That's what y'all can get on the internet if you destroy the Department of Education. That's what's gonna happen. More of me since I'm dumb.
where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
The president said the other day that you might look at treasuries. Could you explain that a little bit? What kind of fraud, and that question goes to both of you, what kind of fraud are you expecting to see or do you see right now in U.S. treasuries?
Yeah, I think you mean the Treasury Department as opposed to Treasury bills, or...
You also referenced treasuries on Air Force One the other night.
Go ahead.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, really, the first order of business is to make sure we're actually collecting... Sorry.
They already lying. They already lying. They are already lying. He said that the Consumers Financial Protection Bureau is another target. Y'all just want exactly... Why would you want to get rid of the Consumers Financial Protection Bureau? That means if you buy something, that's like the Better Business Bureau. Why you want to get rid of these entities that? Why we want to get rid of everything for? Okay, maybe we can cut maybe they don't deserve 762.9 million. Maybe they deserve like 200 million, 100 million maybe, but y'all want to just get rid of everything. Y'all want to get rid of the pennies. That's out of line. That is all the way out of line to get rid of the penny. That is just crazy. Why would you get rid of the penny? Y'all want to get rid of the pennies. Y'all want to get rid of the damn protection of your financial bureau. Y'all want to get rid of the Department of Education needs to be rehauled. But don't get rid of it. It needs to be rehauled. Y'all gonna mess around and get part of the Department of Defense. Next, y'all get part of DHS, Department of Homeland Security. You better watch your ass. Elon might mess around and get rid of DHS, DOD, DOJ. All y'all asses. Jag out of here. Get them out of here too. The VA, one of the largest VAs in the United States is in Texas, Dallas. And that shit is ghetto as fuck. Like Dallas, the VA, the one of the largest VAs in the country is in Dallas, Texas, and that shit's ghetto as fuck. So to get rid of it, no, Obama went in there. Obama went in there and tried to do a rehaul, and the VA got better. And the veterans were saying that the VA got better for all about 2 or 3 years. When Obama went in there and tried to do a, and one of Obama's major focus was the VA in Dallas. That shit right back to what it used to be. Republicans have bashed the seat. Yeah, they have. Because they want to steal money. Don't forget, rich people and poor people steal money.
Sorry for this. I thought my son might enjoy this, but he's sticking his fingers in my ears and stuff. So it's a bit hard to hear sometimes. Hey, stop that. No, the stuff we're doing with the Treasury Department is so basic that you can't believe it doesn't exist already. So for example, like I mentioned, just
so Grandpa Trump, rather than being a damn president, is in here babysitting. You want to talk about making your president efficient? Make him babysit. Maybe make him babysit your kid while you run the presidency. While Elon Musk steps into the acting presidency right now. Donald Trump is a damn granddaddy. Donald Trump a granddaddy. He up there granddaddy Trump up there babysitting, shushing. You know how grandparents is, shushing and playing with the children, knowing they need to shut the hell up, child. Matter of fact, the child shouldn't even be brought to work. Now, you want to talk about wasting our damn money and our time? Why you bring your child? See, don't nobody else got their child in there but Elon. See, he breaking all. They tell you they gonna break all the rules. Do you think some of those reporters would love to have their child right there with them, teaching them how to report, teaching them how to ask the right questions, how to jot down how to jot down and take notes? A lot of these reporters would love to have their children right there with them. But if you take your child to work, you ghetto. You don't know what to do with you don't know how to raise children. You can't afford your children. They talk all kind of bad about you if you got your children at work. But see, look, Elon is bringing his child to work. He's fraudulently lying. And he wants you to believe him because he got a child on his neck. Oh, you can, and because you know what? I gotta do some SBE now. I gotta shame, blame, and explain to y'all about these women. These women hide behind the children. That's what they do. They be lying, committing crimes, but you can't take them to jail or prosecute them because they hide behind the children. There should be more children being born in jail, but they're not because the women hide behind the children. That is the reason why Elon is up there with his child. You can lie to people and do evil shit hiding behind the children. Ask the sisterhood. That's how they make a living.
Making sure that when a payment goes out, it has to have a payment categorization code. It's like, what type of payment is this? You can't just leave the field blank. Currently, many payments, the field is left blank. And you have to describe what's the payment for, some basic rationalization. That also is left blank. So this is why, the Pentagon, when's the last time the Pentagon passed an audit? I mean, a decade ago, maybe? Ever? Really? And we want to, just in order to actually pass audits, you have to have financial information that allows you to trace the payments. And once in a while, the Treasury has to pause payments if it thinks the payment is going to a fraudulent organization. Like,
Are you looking for a new fence or gate for your home or property? Type in your address and drop the red pins to.
If a company or an organization is on a do not pay list, we should not pay it. I'm sure you would agree. Like, if it's quite hard to get on that payment, the do not pay list, it means that this is someone that is like dead people, terrorists, known fraudsters, that kind of thing. We should not pay them. But currently we do, which is crazy. We should stop that.
Many transactions. And by the way, hundreds.
Yo, first of all, Elon Musk's laugh is worse than Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard got a bad laugh, right? Like, Kawhi Leonard probably has one of the worst laughs of laughs, right? But Elon Musk, that laugh is trash. That is the worst autistic laugh. I don't even look. We love this. I don't want to hear autistic people laugh like that. I don't think autistic people laugh like that. Like that, Elon got a little bit more than than autism going on. That ayahuasca shit he been out here doing. You know, Elon love drugs. He talk about drugs all damn time. Ayahuasca shit. Elon don't like regular drugs. He like that wild shit. Ayahuasca and shit, nigga. How the hell you survive an ayahuasca trip? I don't even think I'm even saying it right. No, real shit. Elon love the hell yeah. Y'all know what I mean. The ayahuasca. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. So I'm trying to find this shit. But yeah, they talk about how Elon do drugs all the time, ayahuasca and shit. Let me see if I can find this shit. Ayahuasca. Now I'm making up shit. I'm making up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's ayahuasca. Yeah. Elon Musk was telling everybody. Right. So look at this, right? Right. I want y'all to see this shit, right? I'm gonna show y'all. This is where Elon be talking about doing drugs on trips with his higher management. He talk about this shit. They talk about going on drug voyages and shit. Now are we gonna are our taxpayer money gonna go for CEO Elon Musk, President Elon Musk, to take drug trips? As CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk devotes much of his energy to helping humanity embark on new interplanetary voyages. Yet the tech entrepreneur appears to be in favor of trips of another altogether different kind. The reason why he want to go to space because he be out here, right? Speaking at the technology development and event CodeCon in 2021, Elon expressed his support for a therapeutic use of psychedelic drugs, predicting that the substance will become more widely acceptable in the years to come. Elon out here on that shit. I think generally people should be open to psychedelics, said Musk. an interview and frontline audience. While he didn't elaborate on why he supports these consciousness altering drugs, I told you drugs, healthcare, and telling people you give them money, you can break borders real quick and the law. Anyway, an ever expanding body of scientific evidence points to the potential of psychedelics to treat mental health disorder. And that's what I see Sean Ryan and all these people out here coming out here. Y'all need to eat mushrooms, and they trying to get everybody to eat motherfucking mushrooms. They trying to have the whole damn. They trying to have the whole nation on mushrooms. Why they steal all our money? In particular, substances such as ayahuasca. I don't know if I'm saying that shit. Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. Nigga, I'm trying to read it how I see it. Ayahuasca. That's what they out here doing. It's the active compound in magic mushrooms. They have been found to enhance mental well-being and are seen as promising candidates to treat conditions like depression, according to Musk. The current prohibition, the current prohibition on the use of psychedelics is likely to be lifted in the near future, allowing more people to experience their healing properties. Right? So this is what he want to do. He want to break the law so he can do ayahuasca. Right? Look at this shit, right? I want y'all to see this shit. Elon Musk says laws of thermodynamics can never be overcome unless you're on DMT. DMT. What in the meth is going on around here? He tweeted this shit. Laws of thermodynamics. You can't win. You can't break even. You can't stop playing unless you're on DMT. Come on, dog. Back in 2018, meanwhile, he landed himself in hot water after smoking cannabis while appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Following the incident, NASA launched a review into the workplace culture at SpaceX, claiming it was seeking assurance that the company was fit to transport astronauts to the International Space Station. NASA want a drug-free environment. Elon want a drug-altering environment. Nigga, please. Hey, yo, thank you, brother. Thank you, Devin D. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. The thermodynamics cannot be broken unless you on that shit. Elon gonna make crack great again. Shit, boy. Macca. Make American crack. No. We cannot make crack great again. We can't have a whole country on Adderall, mushrooms, high blood pressure medication, insulin at $35. The fuck, nigga, somebody gonna die.
Thousands of transactions like that. You know, we have a big team. And for the sake of the country, I hope that the person that's in charge and the other people that report to me that are in charge are allowed to do the right thing, namely make sure everything's honest, legitimate, and competent. But we're looking at just when you look at USAID, that's one. We're going to look at the military. We're going to look at education.
That's not true. That's not true. Crack was great with more than just Lawrence Taylor. Sean Kemp made crack great again too. And what about Marion Barry? Marion Barry made crack political. Marion Barry is probably the closest thing to what Elon going to end up being, which is Marion Barry actually ended up being a good thing. He did smoke crack. So I don't know, like, dude, having a crackhead in office does seem a little wild. Elon is a crackhead, and he is in the Oval Office. But Elon openly talk about his drug use, though. We know Kanye do drugs too, but he don't talk about it as openly as Elon do. Elon straight about it. Elon is about these drugs. I mean, Elon is with the drugs. No, Marion was not a failure. He just got set up by a cracker. That wasn't no white woman. He got set up by a cracker. That wasn't no white woman. A real white that was horrible. That wasn't no real white woman that set Marion up. That was a cracker. That was one of Angry Snowman relatives set Marion Barry up. That was horrible. But that was just horrible. Hell yeah, Sean Kemp did drugs. Sean Kemp was on that shit. Balling out of control. Ducking on the man, Sean. Matter of fact, a lot of these NBA niggas is on that shit. Kobe Bryant might have been the only super sober NBA player, because that's just why he had to go see a mental health psychologist to help him play better. Them other players out there on that shit. Michael Jordan done smoked some. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Allegedly, Michael Jordan played basketball under the influence of Hennessy. Michael Jordan probably smoked crack. We know Patrick Ewing, wide nose ass, smoked some crack. I really think a lot of them smoke crack. And USA reportedly bankrolled Al Qaeda terrorist college tuition, unearthed records. So should we educate terrorists? I mean, because at the end of the day, they want to retrain, educate terrorists. So I mean, paying for or helping educate your enemies may be a good defensive strategy. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna stand on that. Educating your enemies is a good defensive strategy.
They're much bigger areas, but the USAID is really corrupt. I'll tell you, it's corrupt. It's incompetent, and it's really corrupt. And I can't imagine a judge saying, well, it may be corrupt, but you don't have the right. You got elected to look over the country and to, as we say, make America great again, but you don't have the right to go and look and see whether or not things are right that they're paying, or that things are honest that they're paying. And nobody can even believe this. Other people, law professors, they've been saying, how can you take that person's right away? You're supposed to be running the country, but we're not allowed to look at who they're paying it to and what they're paying.
I don't. So, Four Corners, you are against terrorists receiving an education? I honestly, I don't know if I'm completely against terrorists receiving an education. I know that may sound crazy, right? Because think about it, right? You can leave their ass in the desert hating on your ass, or you can teach them how to read and how to do a job, and say you don't have to hate me. Like you can fight wars without bullets, man. I think you can fight a lot of wars without bullets. You can cross borders, and you can cross borders and fight wars without bullets. This shit you seeing over there in Ukraine and Russia, that's low IQ shit, and I find it mighty funny. Because it don't be white people. Well, it do be white people talking about IQ. But then the crackers love to use IQ as an argument, but that's not a good argument for crackers. Maybe for white people, they can use the argument if they want to. Like IQ ain't a good argument for niggas to have, but it's a good argument for black people to use. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Lower class, lower minded people probably shouldn't use IQ as a talking point, because they probably are an illegitimate child themselves that barely received a decent education. So therefore, they probably shouldn't use that as a talking point. But we can educate people past hate. Believe it or not, we can practice higher learning. White people had the. That's the reason why we have all these diversity training programs at work, because we have to teach white people higher learning. So I'm just joking. So we have to teach each other higher learning and cultural values of how to deal with each other, because higher learning of cultural value actually turns into money. If you want Asians to come into your business, you might need to know a little bit about Asians and their cultural norms. You might not can speak their language, but you might need to know how to convey each other's needs. And cultural diversity and learning it is the way to ensure that. So I'm okay with that shit. Bring these damn terrorists over here and educate them. Shit. Didn't we bring the terrorists from 9/11? Didn't we bring them over here and teach them how to fly planes and shit? See, maybe if we would have taught them how to fly planes and gave them a job at American Airlines, maybe they wouldn't have stole a plane. If that's the story you believe. I don't believe that story. But if that's the story that the 9/11 Commission is coming up with, then maybe we should have gave them a job. Rather, we educated them, should have gave them a job and something to do, or sent them back to their country to know with skills to do a job. To fly planes over there. So why did they learn how to fly planes in America, and then America didn't do nothing with that talent? We got a lot of wasted talent. That is where the biggest doge is at. The biggest doge is not in these organizations. The guy who ran everyone over in New Orleans, give him a job. He ain't have a job. I give him a job. Not no mushrooms. I guarantee you that guy. Let me get out of this shit. I guarantee you that guy that did that terrorist attack in New Orleans was on some damn mushrooms and ayahuascas and some crack. He probably was on some crack, meth, cocaine, angel dust. He probably popped a molly. He was sweating like Elon Musk in the Oval Office. And an Adderall. And drunk some red ribbon, some beers with that shit. Hennessy. He was fucked up. He was fucked up. And then he ran them people over. See, the thing about it is, you can easily re-educate that guy. Because y'all have to think, right? Y'all have to think, yes, you can re-educate even, he dead now, but that guy you can even re-educate, because believe it or not, how long do you think it takes to radicalize somebody? It don't take long to radicalize somebody. I think you can radicalize somebody in I think you can radicalize somebody in 30 days. I think on 30 days on it, 90 days on the internet, you can fully radicalize somebody. I don't think it take that long I don't even think it take 90 days. Some of these people get on the internet, come on and get red pill and crash out the next day. So therefore, the time reference and radicalizing someone, you really can't even reference it, because you don't know how fast people get turned up, and what information can turn the average person up. That's the dumbest. What is the dumbest thing I've said so far? Right? You can re-educate. Yes, you can, man. You can re-educate. The only person you cannot re-educate is probably the only person you probably can't re-educate is a pedophile, because it's hard to get. I don't think you can get that attraction out of a person. Like, you can't take a pedophile and teach them to like adults. They've tried that. They tried that as a psychological therapy, right? As a therapy with pedophiles. They said, well, you know what? If we can get pedophiles to reimagine or rethink who they are attracted to, we can cure pedophilia. They tried that. It just, for some odd reason, it don't correlate. If a person likes children, you can't just make them like adults. They tried it. It don't work that easily. But that's probably like the only person you probably can't re-educate. But you can everybody else, you can re-educate their ass. For niggas steal, you can re-educate him to gain. Most thieves, well, most businessmen are one step away from being a thief, right? If a nigga is a hacker, you could turn him into Eric Snowden, right? If he hack and go on the computers and steal shit, turn his ass into Eric Snowden. You don't have to run him off to Russia, okay? And because real talk, if you look at what Elon Musk is doing stuff that Eric Snowden already told us existed. Eric Snowden already told us all this stuff that Elon is saying. Like Eric Snowden already went to a government agency, got some. He was a hacker that the government hired, or supposed. They say he wasn't a hacker, but he was a hacker that the government hired, and then he hacked into some government shit and was like, "Yo, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, what the fuck is y'all really doing?" And that's what we are, and we are allowing Elon to do what Eric Snowden tried to do for free. Elon's going to charge us. He's going to charge. We're going to have to pay for SpaceX, Tesla. Elon's going to charge us. Eric Snowden tried to take for free. And so I'm mad at all y'all. I don't give a damn about being smart, because obviously none of us are smart. Yeah, people who don't listen can't be re-educated. You can re-educate people that don't listen. You just have to beat them, right? You remember we used to have corporal punishment in school? They used to whoop your ass in school because you won't listen, right? They took that out of school, and now the kids just don't listen at all. So you might have to whoop somebody's ass for them to listen, but you can get someone to listen. It's some people it take a little bit more force for some people to listen. Re-educating the terrorists to fly for American Airlines, hell yeah. Because what I'm saying is, you can't re-educate them because they dead and gone. However, what I'm saying is, while they were being radicalized, you could have intercepted the radicalizing and trajected them another way. And if you don't think that can happen, you underestimate the psychology of goodness. Because some people don't believe in God. So some people don't believe in God, but you also underestimate the psychology of good magic. Radicalizing people is dark magic. It's straight up, it is. It's very occult like dark magic. It's very psychology get into it a little bit, but they don't really like. It's dark shit to radicalize somebody. And this psychology is probably the basic part of how to deal with the person to get close enough to them to radicalize them. However, it's much more than radicalize. It's much more than psychology. It's much more than that. And to say that we couldn't change a person's mind, psychology, when it is honestly, when it's more than that, when they radicalize them, you underestimating the goodness. It's dark shit, man. It's dark magic. Snowden exposed it, but no one did shit about it. That is true, right? Snowden exposed it, but no one did shit about it. And who was that on? That's on the American people. So I'm glad you said that, right? Snowden exposed it, but no one did shit about it. So Elon Musk is now more accountable to America than American people. The South African is more accountable to this country than you and I, because we found it, right? We did find out about it. We did nothing. We didn't do anything, but yet we did. People started coming out against the Patriot Act. You started seeing small YouTubers, people like me. I'm a small YouTuber. We were talking about the Patriot Act and trying to educate people to the government digging into their information to the point where Google was caught and it was a lawsuit against Google for stealing all this personal information and how they had all of our search, how they had everything we ever searched, how they had it somewhere stored, and how they had all of our thoughts, well, not really thoughts, but our typed thoughts, stored somewhere, and how the internet is pretty much been a big surveillance program the entire time, and people's privacy had been compromised. There's a young Indian guy that recently they say there's a young Indian guy that they say deleted himself over internet information. Let me see if I can find that shit. Let me see if I can find this shit. Mm-mm-mm. Damn, I can't find that shit. No, yeah, we ain't get. I gotta find this shit. Hold on, IT whistleblower. I found it. I got y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all. I'm trying to find a short one though. I'm trying to find it. So there was this kid that was working for Open AI, and he was a whistleblower, and he was talking about Indian kid, and he was talking about that.
For the whistleblower researcher of OpenAI who died last month, it was held in Milpitas for 26-year-old Suchir Balaji. There are a lot.
Suchir Balaji. Look at them. Look at the Indian people. The Indian people Mad as hell. They sad as hell. They don't understand. They did everything right. They got their H-1Bs. They came over here to work for all these tech companies. And then they realize education don't really matter like that. Is pinky in the brain. At the end of the day, what's the force? They'll kill your ass. This Indian guy tried to tell the truth. He was trying to tell a truth about what was going on with this AI program, and what he thought people should know about that business and that program. He allegedly did not make it.
A lot of questions about his death. Balaji's parents hired a private investigator just yesterday. They don't believe their son would have died by suicide.
Yeah, I was the last person to talk to him. He was happy mood. He's not depressed or anything. And it was his birthday week.
He made plans of going to CES in January. That was the last phone conversation he had with anyone. He went into his apartment. He never came out. There was no suicide note left. And there is nobody else in the scene. That doesn't mean they can just come to conclusion. And we have seen the bloodshots in the bathroom, signs of fight in the bathroom.
Vigil organizers say they're honoring Balaji's bravery and raising awareness to corporate accountability in artificial intelligence.
Don't worry. You can't prevent sick days. That's why Kleenex lotion tissue.
All right, let's get to some troubling developments with regard to this OpenAI whistleblower. We can put this up on the screen. He was a former researcher at OpenAI turned whistleblower, and he has sadly been found dead in his apartment in San Francisco. According to authorities, they ruled his death to be a suicide. They say police found no evidence of foul play. In October, the New York Times had published an interview with Mr. Balaji. His name is Suchir Balaji, and he alleged that OpenAI had violated U.S. copyright law while it was developing ChatGPT, and he became so disturbed by what he learned about his allegations about their copyright violations and how unethical this was and how damaging it.
Yo, this shit crazy. What you think Elon Musk gonna do about this? They stealing our intellectual property. They copyrighting it. Look, YouTube can take this shit and spread it, cut it up, and YouTube, they copyrighting me.
Ultimately was to the entire internet ecosystem. He felt he could no longer remain at OpenAI, and then came out as a whistleblower. We can put this next piece up on the screen, which includes some of his writings and thoughts. This is something that he posted relatively recently. He says, I recently participated in a New York Times story about fair use and generative AI and why I'm skeptical fair use would be a plausible defense for a lot of generative AI products. I also wrote a blog post. To give some context, I was at OpenAI for nearly 4 years, worked on ChatGPT for the last 1.5 of them. I initially didn't know much about copyright, fair use, etc., but became curious after seeing all the lawsuits. When I tried to understand the issue better, I came to the conclusion that fair use seems like a pretty implausible defense for a lot of generative AI products for the basic reason that they can create substitutes that compete with the data they are trained on. I've written up the more detailed reasons for why I believe this in my post. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but I still feel like it's important for even non-lawyers to understand the law, both the letter of it and why it's actually there in the first place. That being said, he goes on to say, I don't want this to read as a critique of ChatGPT or OpenAI per se, because fair use and generative AI is a much broader issue than any one product or company. I also went back to read the New York Times story that he references here, that he was really featured in and was kind of the main character in. And one of the things that he told the Times was, quote, if you believe what I believe, you have to just leave the company. He had not taken a new job at that time back in.
If you believe what I believe, you got to believe just the company. And that's where we're about to go with this Doge stuff. Anyway, it's been 2 hours. I'm about to get something to eat, lay it down. It's already 12 o'clock. It's pretty late to eat, but I'm about to get something to eat, lay it down. Y'all have a blessed one.